You know that it's the biggest corporate circle jerk in existence, but for some odd reason, we just keep holding on to this sinking ship. My teachers even made it mandatory for me to make an account for my professional career, and I took that advice and then proceeded to never use it. Because when you open this app for the first time, you're immediately greeted with design isn't just about what you want to create, but it's also what needs to be created. Bragging seems to be so ingrained into the culture of LinkedIn that often the content of the post itself matters less than just seeming professional, and this makes for some of the funniest, blatant misinformation that you've ever seen. I studied communication and multimedia design, right? So I know a lot of designers, marketeers, those kinds of people. But the funniest shit to me is when you get a post about search engine optimization and it goes like this. Discover the real impact of social media marketing on business growth. Learn how strategy drives success. One like. Do you want to increase your reach on Pinterest and make your pins stand out? The key to success on Pinterest lies with smart SEO strategies. From using trending keywords to optimizing your boards and adding seasonal visuals, these elements can make your content irresistible. 3 likes, 1 comment, and the comment is of the company itself. Some of these also seem to be like completely AI generated when it comes to the text or even just the pictures. For example, this one, the real essentials of SEO for beginners who want the truth, with an AI generated picture that says the real essentials of SEO, what actually works without the noise. 0 likes. This one in particular was kind of funny to me because this links to like a blog post. This blog post is just basically this guy explaining a little bit of the basics of SEO, and one of the points he makes is create something real. Come on, you have to realize the irony of this. How does somebody go into like Claude or ChatGPT, generate a completely fake article from scratch, and then have one of the points be make something real? The only way I can explain that somebody does this is when they just don't bother to read what they put on LinkedIn anyway. What's the point? Nobody is seeing this anyway. Hello, spring. The days are getting longer. The sun is shining more often, and honestly, now is the time to grow your brand again. So it's time to refresh your content, increase your visibility, and stand out from the rest. 17 likes, 0 comments. One important thing to clarify as we go through these posts, the LinkedIn's algorithm kind of works a little bit differently than other social medias would, where most of the posts that you see are posts that are liked or are posted by people you know, or it's the suggested feature. That's really the only traditional algorithm thing that LinkedIn has. We will be using those functions. I'm kind of in this echo chamber of people that actually do some pretty decent stuff, if I might say. Jealous? I thought so. Also, I am aware that suddenly my hair is gone, okay? I don't know why they left, and they're ignoring my calls. But the corpo slop aside, LinkedIn can also be much more sneaky and misleading. A little while back, I was exercising quite heavily. I substituted it with whey protein. Somebody I know sent me this post. What if your healthy protein shake is more harmful than a white sandwich? Whey protein is sold as the healthy alternative, but did you know that it can make your insulin spike harder than white bread? 1. Whey protein gives a faster and higher insulin spike than glucose. 2. Repeated insulin spikes can contribute to low-grade inflammation and insulin resistance. 3. Insulin resistance and low-grade inflammation are the root of obesity, fatigue, mood swings, and even cognitive decline and dementia. What the fuck? SOS! Research shows that almost half of Dutch adults 18 to 75 have to deal with a mental illness at some point in their lives. SOS, 1 in 5 people get dementia. In women, even 1 in 3. The original post had a call to action at the end, which was comment whey and I'll send you the guide, which is of course perfect marketing. And then a scientific source. At first glance, you might think, holy shit, scientists have found what? Somebody who I consider is way better at critical thinking than I am managed to completely fall for this. In these points that they list, they will increasingly get more dramatic, and they'll try to get to you as fast as possible. In between these points, it seems like there is a causal connection, as if one causes the other. If you think about it for 3 seconds, that's not the case at all. Whey protein gives a higher insulin spike than glucose does not mean that thereby whey protein contributes to low-grade inflammation and insulin resistance. Those two things don't have to correlate. This post sure makes it seem like it does, and it is sure using this point to make you quite scared. It is almost as if it's trying to claim that whey protein causes dementia. Are you fucking serious? Just because almost half of Dutch adults have a mental illness does not mean that whey protein is the cause of that. There is no connection here. And this is where I have to give LinkedIn a little bit of credit, because you can see what people do in their careers and what they are as a job. And you can see that in the comments, there are a lot of doctors that call this person out on this. This apothecary specialist who gives a short explanation and then ends this comment with, "Please stop deliberately cheating people. You deleted your previous post because you received too many negative substantive reactions. Now you are again promoting your business with falsehoods." And then I like how somebody in the comments was, "Go." Or, for example, this lecturer, "Insulin spikes are a normal physiological response to food intake and are in no way a risk factor for developing insulin resistance. Thank you for an actual proper explanation." But here's the thing. There is a study in here. So there must be some truth to this, right? The study shows whey gives a higher insulin peak, but therefore fewer repeated blood sugar spikes and less hunger later on. The research is therefore misused as evidence that whey would be harmful. Even though it's cool that LinkedIn will show you comments of actual specialists commenting on this person's very manipulative post, still, whey, when, connection request also sent. Wait, and thank you. Wink. Wait. When something aligns with our worldview, we have a tendency to just take it at face value. We are all insecure about our bodies, right? I'm insecure about my body, and nutrition is one of the key factors to that. And these types of exploitative people know this. Oh man, my heart rate is so high. I think I've had one too many of those whey protein. How the hell was I supposed to know that you're not supposed to eat it raw? I could use a drink. We tried fixing our diet when nothing was broken. What the fuck is that? 313 likes? Hi, welcome to my floor, because we ain't getting any lower than this. You're done with talking about AI. I'm done with talking about AI, even though I haven't actually done it in the past. And it's making absolutely nobody happy. Or at least, that's what I thought. On LinkedIn, when you search anything, one of the first posts that you will get are these completely AI-generated profiles that only upload completely AI-generated content. Usually, the posts have like 13 likes, 15 likes, 60 likes maybe, if you're lucky. Almost never do LinkedIn posts have as many likes as these completely AI-generated slop posts. For example, this channel called Biome Health, Trust Your Gut. This, health information. What the fuck? Holy sh... Ugh. Just so you know, this has 941 likes. Who sees this and thinks, yes, this is what I want to have on my professional profile. But don't worry, since this is LinkedIn, I've also found the most tone-deaf, ironic posts ever. And in this case, it's of course graphic designers. Hiring a graphic designer or hiring a whole creative agency in one person. Nowadays, many companies don't want just a designer. They want someone who can design posts, edit videos, manage social media, create content, handle branding, make reels, run ads, and sometimes even think like a marketer too. Meanwhile, the designer just wants to Design. A graphic designer's job is to create visual communication, not carry 5 different jobs alone. The industry seriously needs to understand the difference between multi-skilled and overloaded. Respect creative work, respect creative people. I agree with this post, right? I'm a designer. The thing that bothers me about this is that you're creating a post that is advocating for designers' rights, and then the post itself, the picture attached to it, is completely AI generated. You know, the one thing that big companies are using to replace designers with. Seems a little tone deaf, don't you think? I cannot completely prove that this post is AI generated, even though it has all of the qualities of an AI generated post. However, I also found these other posts that are definitely AI generated with the exact same message. And the reason why I know that these are AI generated is because you have the exact same post somewhere else. Comparing list with emojis, AI generated picture. Comparing list with emojis. Comparing list with emojis, AI generated picture. Design is much more than colors and fonts. It's the art of bringing visions to life. Graphic design is not a one-size-fits-all job. It's a broad field with specialized skills. Graphic design is not a one-size-fits-all job. It's a broad field with specialized skills. Graphic design is not just about creating attractive visuals. It's about communicating ideas, building identity, and creating an impact that people remember. Behind every great design is a process: research, creativity, strategy, and attention to detail. People think graphic design is just about making things look fine, but it's deeper than that. Graphic designers are more than creatives. They are key influencers in today's society. Graphic design is more than making things look beautiful. It is the art of visual communication. Graphic design is not all about combining fonts and images. It's where you put your brand to the test. It's where you show your creativity. That's why most graphic designers are smart and has sharp IQ as well. This one might not be AI generated after all. I don't understand how you can advocate for graphic designers' rights and then all of your posts being completely AI generated. This post, for example, ends it with "appreciate your creatives." Why even bother? The floor is getting a little bit painful. I'm just gonna move again. Wow, I needed to touch some grass after that. It is really no use in getting angry over it because I have no idea whether it is a real person or whether I'm just looking at a very frustrating bot account. Quite frankly, it has come to the point where I can't really tell, so I have no idea whether I'm just talking to ChatGPT, but just with extra steps. And it's not like this is new or something. Like, fake profiles on LinkedIn have been an issue since forever. Misinformation, just the same. For example, during COVID-19, LinkedIn was one of the brewing places of misinformation concerning the virus. And if you weren't actually talking to a fake account, you can bet that LinkedIn is going to sell that data to be trained on AI. So it just feeds into the same Ouroboros of AI slop, and it's just AIs talking to each other in the end. The only point of LinkedIn is to keep up with the professional achievements of the people that you already know, but there are platforms out there that are way better at doing that than LinkedIn. Like Facebook, for example. And having summarized all of this, it all kind of boils down to one question. All of the different elements were now into place. I gathered all the evidence. SEO specialists making themselves seem incompetent by getting zero clout. People burning their reputations by posting complete misinformation. Most of LinkedIn being AI slop. And professionals oversaturating the platform with completely AI-generated posts. Was I talking to real people, or was this all a mask? Artificial, or of their own making? What is even real anymore? But at the center of it all, the question that kept on burning inside me.